I get by with a little help from spontaneous human combustion. Sure, so I'm feeling down. Lately, it's just, I've been...
Is it because of the rapture?
No, it's just, people are super attractive, and I've just not been feeling it, you know?
Yeah, sometimes people can be just really fancy.
And assertive.
Yeah, and it can just really hits home.
You know, I tried having some infected onions and, you know, the normal things that people do.
Yeah. Things used to be exciting.
Yeah, but I haven't been getting by good at all anytime lately. It's been a while since I've seen a human spontaneously combust.
Yeah.
That's what gets me going. That's what helps me through my week, you know? But so far, no combustion.
Usually, like, I get that, but sometimes the sudden engulfment of flames can just like excite you in kind of a really violent way.
Yeah, it's like everything's peaceful. I'm eating my oatmeal, and then like out of nowhere, I see someone going to the dentist, just about their day, and then boom, they're on fire.
Yeah.
And it's very boisterous, and that just, it gets me through my week, you know?
Yeah. You know what gets me? The Underground Railroad.
Really?
Yeah, like, I actually used to think it was like a real railroad that was underground.
Really?
And I just thought that was so incredible that there was this underground railroad. But then I found out that it was actually not an underground railroad.
Oh.
And then I was down again. But then someone showed me a video of someone jerking off into a pool of children's tears. And I was just disturbed.
Oh. Yeah. I used to think people had shotguns for legs, you know? It just, things change about the world.
Yeah, that was, like, that video that made everyone think that people had shotguns for legs, that was award-winning.
Well, I realized then that I actually had a caffeinated brain tumor.
Oh.
But
like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, but I got that out, and
oh, yeah.
that's another story. But as soon as I heard Morgan Freeman's voice, I got, back to the world.
Okay. Yeah, like there was that person you met on the street that gave you a bag of magic beans.
Mm-hmm. The very unsanitary beans. Yeah. Don't eat them. They're trying to subdue me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And then you couldn't eat corn for a week.
I couldn't eat corn for a week. It's like being Miley Cyrus at 55. You don't want to be like that.
Yeah, and like I hear that she's likely going to be an amputee at that point.
Right.
Because all that twerking and Dick Cheney, can't even say that name, and foreskin, she's just gonna have a bunch of dead babies.
But when all this crap happens and I'm feeling musical, I try to sit down on a bench and watch, people walk by and look for any self-absorbed person that might spontaneously combust, because that is what gets me going. And I haven't seen that lately.
Yeah, it's like all you see now is poorly timed Holocaust jokes.
So I've just been very sacred, and it's just...
Yeah, like you wait to see the person with quivering jowls, and you just hope that all that friction from the quivering is just gonna set off a spark that ignites everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't see that. And you want, like, it kind of sounds sad, and like the silence will just be eating away at you.
Without it, I feel very unsupported and like an infected Nickelback, you know?
That is foul.
That is very foul, like my sex life.
And lions.
And lions. You don't want to be a lion.
Yeah, you don't want to be a lonesome lion. I can't.
Like, that's the one thing that got me through my week. The one thing.
Yeah, and then there was, like, I found all, like, this one-of-a-kind, super rare content, and then I was running it over to you of all these people spontaneously combusting, and then it got crushed by a vending machine.
That is like an unbelievable world of mushrooms. How could that happen?
I don't know, someone really wanted to get a soda.
I'm sorry, that's very lonely.
Yeah. And kind of totally awesome. I mean, like, they got crushed by the vending machine as well, so they had it coming.
Just reminds me of going to summer camp, you know, get all giddy.
Yeah, and then you'd like jump into a pile of leaves.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Yeah, back in the days when we were all just brave.
Yeah. There was free ice cream, yo.
Yeah, and Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, he was the camp coach. Like,
He was.
how could you have more fun? It's just the years after that, they didn't have Neil Patrick Harris. It was just a total downer.
Good days like when we were being 9 years old, you know.
Yeah, and plungers to the face.
Why can't I sleep at night? Child beauty pageants.
Have you been having problems sleeping lately?
Yeah, has it shown like the dark circles under my eyes?
Just a little, yeah. It's worse than Hillary Clinton's these days.
Yeah, well, I've recently been extremely infected with these nightmares.
Is it through existing?
No, it's like nightmares, and then I also don't sleep too. It keeps me up. Like I can't. There's no word to describe it. It's scrumdiddlyumptious.
Well, what are the nightmares? Is it like a piñata full of scorpions, or?
I have a nightmare, and then the next nights after, I can't sleep. It keeps me up. It's child beauty pageants. They just get you.
Child beauty pageants? Have you been binge watching like those horrible beauty pageants lately?
I got quite lonesome, okay?
Do you realize how serious of an issue this is? This is worse than eating an albino.
I know, it's just... It seemed justified, but I started watching them and
You're being melodramatic here.
I started watching them with my grandpa, and just now all of a sudden I'm getting... I can't sleep because of the fat moms who make their daughters
Who are also mooing.
and they make them pose and all this stuff, and they're very temperamental, and they're all prissy with their kids, and it's...
Is it because it's disgustingly addictive?
Yes, exactly, addictive.
I can't believe you fell for this. This is worse than the time you were addicted to double penetration.
It's worse than a dance move that's just sex. It's worse than...
This is horrible. Don't you know that you should be focusing on your weapon grade plutonium?
I know. It was too outrageous for me, and I found more use... It's as useful as flightless birds.
Well, you're very brave for dealing with these nightmares, but you need to face this. I mean, this is worse than taking a man's eyes and balls out and putting his eyes where his balls go than his balls where the eyeballs go.
That sounds super attractive. This is like worse
Okay, it's affecting you to the point where you even think that was sane.
Yeah, it's worse than sucking the president's dick. And it's worse than Kurt Cobain's death. I mean, this is serious.
All this blood. Do you realize how this is affecting you?
Yeah, but...
And you keep whining like a little bitch about it too.
At least I'm independent and I'm not into necrophilia.
I am not into necrophilia. It's Auschwitz. Get it right.
It's just...
We need to go see Bill Nye the Science Guy to help you.
He really is extraordinary.
Yes, we need to get you help, and now.
Right. It's also...
Otherwise, you're going to have trouble swiftly achieving an orgasm.
Bill Nye is very climactic. I'm glad you're going to take me to see him.
Of course. I mean, it was either that or a cat video so cute that your eyes roll back and your spine slides out of your anus.
Oh.
I cannot speak today.
That's very handy, but...
Well, yes, it is. It's inappropriately cute.
But are you sure about Bill Nye? I heard he filled a man's anus with concrete.
Well, it's better than mixing the races.
Alright.
And giants born from outer space. I mean, come on, we need help.
Alright. I appreciate you're doing this for me, and I know sometimes I can be a whoremonger, so...
Well, you do supply me with Morgan Freeman's voice, so it's the least I can do.
I'll forgive you for that one time of pooping in a laptop and closing it.
That was due to the human body. Give me a break. At least I didn't lock up 72 virgins.
Yeah, that's quite sacred.
This is America. If you don't work hard, you don't succeed. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, or not wearing pants.
We should all do our part.
Do our part to make sure that we are either any of those races or not wearing pants.
Or anything but.
Yes, because there was a time when people were allowed to let their weird brother into the country.
True is very true.
And the weird brother would just come in and be appropriate all the time.
Yeah, and we used to let MPTs in, and Batman in, and a mouthful of potato salad. We let in everybody and everything.
And then the weird brother would come in and then talk about the 10 incredible facts about the anus.
That in such powerful knowledge. But now what are we today? We are all sitting around doing nothing, and we are only focusing on the statistically validated stereotypes.
Well, you know, it's all about the big time where there was a subscription to Men Fitness, and they, instead of men, they just had pictures of boobs on every page.
Well, of course, and you know, on the radio you used to hear music, but now you hear Stephen Hawking talking dirty. I mean, what is America these days? What is it? We're literally eating shit here.
Yeah, and then there was that other subscription, which was just full frontal nudity on every page.
Or the Care Bear stare.
My accent's changing a lot.
Well, it's gorgeous.
Thank you. It's like medieval times dinner and tournament.
Or flying sex snakes. They're so trustworthy, but you know
And fearless.
Yes, but because of crucifixion, we are not the America we used to be.
There, we are just an army of skeletons, because all we do is we just sit around all day and write passive-aggressive post-it notes to other countries.
Yes, or we send them exploding pigeons.
Yes, how does that make sense? In the slightest. It's like calculating every mannerism so as not to suggest homosexuality.
Yes, and we're this close to nominating our first chimpanzee president.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this coming to? It's like, we have to use the force to get people to get up.
And mad hacky sack skills.
Yes, it's like...
That is our most biggest talent here.
There's like the doers, and then there's the watchers, and then there's the people just sitting there and whipping it out. And
then there's the tiger that killed my father.
yes, and it's like... And then there's this cop, who's actually a dog, and he's just... It's like, what remains of my penis?
Well, I mean, you know, there's so many things that could be easier in America, and yet, no, it's like subduing a grizzly bear, making her your wife.
Because that just all ends up being...
We're not trying hard enough. We as America, we need to grow a pair.
We need to be continuous. We need to be Kanye West. We need to love ourselves and be incredibly narcissistic.
We need to be the unstoppable tide of Islam, because if they were contagious.
Yes.
We, as Americans, need to be contagious too.
And crystal meth is definitely not the way we want to do that.
Well, maybe not that. It would be catastrophic, but, you know, you get what I mean. Because this country is unsanitary.
We just need to sit down and practice doing an interracial handshake.
Yes, and we need to spend less time on Jennifer Lawrence and more time on the sweet song of a sword against sword and the brain of mighty war beasts.
Yes. And a captivating god. And sing.